Hello, Amna.
Hello.
Hello.
Here.
How
Where's
are you
Deborah?
guys?
Hi.
Hey, Amna, welcome back. Amna, can you hear me? Oh, she's still connected. Amna, how are you?
Hi, teacher. I'm good. What about you?
Great. Are you here or still in Saudi Arabia?
No, I am here. I
Good.
arrived on Saturday.
Welcome back. Excellent. Good to see you
Mm.
again. Hello, E.
Hello,
How
teacher.
are you, Enricos? Hey,
Hello.
Jayin.
Hello, how are you?
Doing great. How are you guys?
Good.
How was your weekend?
Just the so-so.
Just the so-so. I didn't give you enough homework, right? Maybe that's why.
No. No. If you give me more homework, it's better.
It's bad. I think it keeps you busy on the weekend, so your weekend is fun.
Just the so-so is not mean didn't busy. It means
see.
now. It means exciting.
I see. All right. So let's go over the plan for today. You guys know the big thing for today, right?
Yes.
You
Deborah.
got, yeah, you know
Welcome.
exactly what's going to happen today.
Guest lecture.
Yes, excellent. All right, so this is the plan for today. Idiom of the day. Let me see. Some people still coming. Admit. To call the shot. Anybody knows what it means to call the shot? I made it dark this time so you cannot see, right? Enricos, can you see?
No, nothing.
No, you cannot see this time. Good. Nobody knows? All right, I will show you. All right, to call the shots means to be in charge, to be in control, to be the boss. You know, look at the example in the IEP, John Bunting, you know John Bunting, right? The director.
Yes.
So John Bunting is the one who calls the shots. He's in charge, he's in control, he's the boss. Okay. In this class, who calls the shots?
You.
Good. So I am the boss of this class, right? All right, so that's what, this is a good word. I think you guys can learn. It's really interesting. And then we have, you know, Deborah is gonna come in 1 minute, a few minutes, and she'll talk about civic engagement. I want you guys to, when I introduce her, you know, clap for her, and then when she's done, we'll also clap. When she's done, I want you guys to ask questions, okay? Don't just watch and, you know, please ask questions or give some comments, you know. All right. And then after that, we're gonna do a little more vocabulary related to charity, and then I'll let you guys work in your groups. Okay, and then your homework will be to read some stuff on in iCollege. And we can talk about this later after Deborah is done with the speech. Any questions about this?
No.
All right, look good. Oh, Deborah is here already. Oh, I didn't know.
Hi, Deborah. How are you?
All
Hi,
right.
everybody.
Yeah,
So,
we're
hey guys,
missing
this
you.
is Deborah. I
So
think
good
most
to
of you
see
know her
you.
already, right?
I know many students here. Nice to see you again. How's it
Very
going?
Everything is doing good.
Everything is good?
Yeah.
Yes.
Great. Okay.
All right.
So hello to the new students I don't know. Really, really nice that you're in classes with Christians. So great, Christian. Hey, should I go ahead and get started?
Oh yeah, so yeah, everybody is here, I believe. Let me see, we're missing just 1 or 2 people, but you know, they'll come later, it doesn't matter. So yeah, if you're
Okay.
ready. So guys, you guys know today's Deborah is gonna talk to us about civic engagement. So I want you guys to listen. Please turn off your cell phones. Okay, keep your cameras on. Okay. take notes, and then later you can ask questions, and I will ask you questions as well, just to make sure you followed the speech, okay? All right, Deborah, you up in the air.
All right, so thank you, Christian, for inviting me. I know some of you know I was teaching in the IEP for a long time and I retired. So this is my first time back as a guest speaker and I'm very excited. I love this class. I taught this class for many years and what I want to talk to you today is what is civic engagement and just kind of give you an overview and some examples, some experiences I've had. So civic engagement, there are actually, well, here's the agenda. I'll talk about the definitions, the benefits, how you can get involved, and then my personal experience. So there are actually a few definitions that are really the same thing. As you know, there's different vocabulary for many of the same ideas in English. So there, 4 of them are listed here. I'm sure Christian will post the PowerPoint for you. But in general, civic engagement, the first definition you see, it's making a difference in the civic life of your community and developing the combination of knowledge, skills, values, and motivation to make the difference. And at Georgia State, I will mention maybe again, there is an Office of Civic Engagement. But what that really is volunteering, the second definition. It's the practice of volunteering your time and or your talent for charity, education, or other activities, often in your own community. Community service is also voluntary work. And sometimes people call, I'm doing community service, and that's the same as volunteering. It's intended for the common good, for everyone, what's good for everyone. And usually you do it as part of an organized group. And I know you're working right now on nonprofit organizations. Nonprofit organizations are the heart of volunteering. Almost all of them need volunteers to sustain and achieve their goals. The last one is really connected to students in education. So in universities and high schools, and now even with younger kids, we call it service learning. And you're still doing community service, but it's within an educational system, sometimes as a graduation requirement. So in high school in the United States, some schools require that students volunteer. Often and I'll talk a little bit about the benefits, how it can help you get a job or get into a school if you have volunteered. So basically, these are all the same thing. It's volunteering your time for no money in order to make things better. And there's often a benefit for you too. Any questions? Okay, that's that. We can have time at the end and I'll go ahead, I'll move ahead. So the benefits, there are many, and I should have put the last one first, but for you learning English, you can develop your language skills. It's the very last bullet point. But I'll go back to start at the top. Help your community and others. I'm sure many of you have volunteered in your home countries. Increase self-esteem. Self-esteem is how you feel about yourself. Usually when we help someone, we feel better. We feel good. We did something for someone besides ourselves. You might be helping your friends that need something. It could be helping them move. You're really volunteering in that sense, even though it's not for a nonprofit. You definitely make new friends because you come together with people that you may not have met. Trying out a job, you might look at doing a certain activity as a volunteer because you're interested maybe in that skill as a job, working in hospitals, in medical fields, working in businesses. There's a million ways to volunteer. The next one is improving your resume or your CV. This is where you list your work experience. When you apply for a job, you have to create a resume, also known as curriculum vitae or your CV. And if you have volunteer experience on your resume, you're going to stand above the person that didn't volunteer. So if everything is equal, but you volunteered, you might be the one chosen for that position. The same thing in a university. If you're trying to go to grad school or undergrad, if you can show that you have done something other than just your studies, this puts you a leg above. Because in the United States, in the American culture, volunteering has become a value. It's something that people believe is important, and that has gone into the school systems and also into the business world when you look for a job. Of course, you can develop new skills. You do things you never did before. You learn how to do things. And as you guys plan and research your nonprofits, part of that, I think, is looking at what volunteers do for that organization. So you'll see different skills that are developed when people volunteer. You could also do something you love. You find an organization that needs help and you really enjoy that particular area. So you're doing something you enjoy. And then, as I said, developing your language skills, because you're using English when you volunteer in this country or in Atlanta. So how can you get involved? I mentioned the Georgia State Office of Civic Engagement. This is on campus in the student center, and it's the best place for you to be involved. You can check their website for information. It may be that Christian might invite the director to come speak to you again. Because of COVID, some volunteering, especially last spring and last summer, last fall, it really dropped down, but I do know they're doing activities again. But this office has relationships with more than 400 nonprofit organizations. So there's something that everyone can do, and it's automatically organized. So I definitely, if this is something you're interested in, you need to contact this office and find out what the opportunities are. And the website is there. And you can also find it on the GSU website under Office of Civic Engagement. And I know even during the pandemic, people are volunteering. Last Monday on Martin Luther King holiday, and actually this is in my next slide, personal experiences. The last one, I participated in community service last Monday. Martin Luther King holiday is also known as a National Service Day, and people do all kinds of volunteering. And I went to an outside community garden, and the assistant director of the Office of Civic Engagement was there with a group from Georgia State. So I saw Byron, and he told me that there were 500 students volunteering last Monday, 500 Georgia State students. So they're definitely doing this again. But my experience as a volunteer really kind of started, I saw my father volunteer in many different ways as I was growing up. And then I began teaching English as a Peace Corps volunteer, which is an organization that's through the United States government, but you don't get paid you do get paid a little bit, but not very much. So that was an exception, because most volunteering, you don't get paid. But that was my beginning of giving service without full payment. The next one, I've also served on boards of 3 nonprofits. So as you explore and research your nonprofits, you're going to find out how they're organized. And there's usually something called a board of directors, a president, a vice president, a treasurer. And that's how these organizations are managed. And these are often volunteer positions. I also fundraise for research on HIV and AIDS for the Emory Vaccine Center. Emory University is a private university, and they have a vaccine center who, by the way, they've been working deeply on the COVID vaccine as well. And then there's another organization called Jerusalem House that provides housing for people living with HIV and AIDS. And so I participate in an event and we ask people to donate. So again, as you're doing your research, you're going to find out that nonprofits, that's in the name, they're not there to make a profit. And so they often have to get money from individuals, from grants, from corporations who donate. And so a basic fundamental tenet, value again in American society is that people often make donations to things that mean something to them. So I'm involved in an event and I ask people to donate money. I did a lot of volunteering on this past presidential and Senate election. I always work on whatever election's going on. I feel very strongly about the democratic process. So I did a lot of work on that last fall up till January in the Senate runoff. And then, as I said, last Monday, I worked in the MLK National Service Day and did some community garden cleanup. So, any questions? I'm happy to answer questions from anyone about something I said or something I didn't say, or maybe about your nonprofit that you're working on.
All right.
I would like to hear. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Deborah.
I would love to hear what nonprofits people are working on. I know you have put them in groups, Christian,
Yeah.
but maybe I know Stephen, what nonprofit are you working on in your group?
Is that Hanwen, Stephen?
Yes.
Yes.
So what is your nonprofit organization you're working on?
I have never got it, my experience.
No. Which one you
No.
working on for this class? For
For your
project, your group
presentation?
project?
The group project?
What's the name of your organization?
What's the name?
You
Abandoned doctor.
Doctors Without Borders?
Yes.
Okay.
Even you're in trouble. You don't even know your
What's the meaning?
Jesus.
Well, it's good to know. It's good to find these things out, isn't it, Christian?
That's
Doctors
true, right?
Without Borders,
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
called. Okay. So who's in the group, Yi? Are you in his group?
Yeah, yes, I'm in the group.
Who else
And
is?
Heaven and
Sorry, teacher, I forgot my
and
topic.
Brana is not here.
Okay. And so what about, let's see, who else? T, I know you. T, what organization are you working on?
We're working on Meals on Wheels.
Great. Meals on Wheels. All right. Who's in your group?
Carmen Hazel, Henrico, and Yingwei.
Okay. So Anais, how about you? What's your group?
We're working on Habitat for Humanity.
Great. Those are great groups, great nonprofits.
Hamna with Diane and Cindy.
Okay, awesome.
Cindy is not here yet, right? I don't see her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are there any others or is that it?
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
Henrico's, what group are you on? Henrico's, Judy.
In my case, we are working in Meals on Wheels.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Okay, good. Well, do you have any questions for me? Anything I said, or do you want to talk a little bit about your volunteer experience in your home? I know many students volunteer at home nowadays.
Mhm.
Yeah, can I say something?
Please.
Yes, go ahead, Henrico's.
But I thank you, Deborah, for your presentation, and this inspired me to be volunteer and any other non-profit organization. Your work, very good.
Awesome.
Keep going.
Thank you.
Yeah. In my case, I remember I used to be volunteered in, for example, in my community. For example, I was working during the our first day and during the weekend with other physicians, because I'm physician with other
Okay.
physicians. We used to go, for example, in group and some poor community, because I come from Haiti, and some poor communities to for example, healthcare for some people that they don't have money to pay
Right,
the hospital.
exactly. Mhm.
Exactly, we help some people. And also I was but I still am the member of this group. It's a medical group in Haiti. Sometimes we do some activities to people, for example, for students, medical students, and also for example, a grassroots organization
Mhm.
to empower them for you that they can take for
Uh-oh.
It's freeze.
It's, yeah.
Yeah, well, like
Internet
you
problems. All
said,
right. Yeah. Go
you
ahead,
build
Deborah.
friendships. You build friendships that last forever is another benefit for sure. So, okay, I don't know how much more time there is, Christian.
Oh,
So
go ahead. Go ahead, Deborah. Does anybody else
any-
have any question or comments like Enrico's? Yeah, go ahead.
we were freezing. Sorry.
You froze.
Me,
Hazel had
Hazel.
her hand up, and then Anais.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, thank you for your orientation, Deborah. It was really surprising that you volunteered a lot. And I have one quick question. Like, if I apply volunteer through GSU, like Georgia State University, then can I prove that I volunteered automatically, or should I, pay?
Absolutely. The Office of Civic Engagement has a system, an app, or some software, and you enter in. Once you sign up, you enter in where you're going, what you did, and then when it's finished, you get somebody, and then you have a record of it. And at the end of the semester, you can print it out or use it for any way you need to. Yeah, they are very organized over there.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
And we're having the director coming in March, sometime in
great.
March, to give a talk. So you guys can also
Great.
ask him questions as well.
He's an awesome guy. So let me first, Anais, and then Yi. Anais had her hand up before.
Yeah, my question is, did you make some real friendship?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. When I worked on the board of the three nonprofits, I met many people I'm still friends with, for sure. One of the boards was my neighborhood. Another one was related to the Emory Vaccine Center that I do the fundraising for. And then another one was for community events connected to a bookstore, but separate from the bookstore, because it was a nonprofit so that they could raise money to do these programs for the community. Yeah, so I've definitely made many friends from there, and and kind of once you're in that world of volunteering, you find out many things, and you might do something different, but for sure. And definitely from my teaching experience, I'm still friends with many people that I taught with there. So thanks for your question.
Okay.
Yi?
Yes, Deborah.
And let me say
So
one more thing. I ended up being a teacher from that experience of teaching in Morocco, So I found out that I really liked it. So I continued. That was the beginning of my career. So
Very interesting.
Go ahead, Yi.
yes, would you like to recommendate some organization for higher school? Just like my daughter is the first year in American, so international students. So the school require 10-hour surveying learning.
Oh, really? Okay.
Okay, so see, what I was saying is the high school is requiring 10 hours, which is not very much, really, but still 10 hours. Well, are they helping her find the organizations, Yi? Do they offer support?
No, I don't know how to find this organization.
Well, I think
because during the pandemic, it's very hard.
But I think you need to ask the counselor at the school, because most schools, they don't only say you need to volunteer for 10 hours. They also have a counselor or teachers that will help the students find where to volunteer.
Hmm.
Okay, so you might ask your daughter to explore, because even though there's a pandemic, there's support at the school to help her.
Usually, yeah.
Yeah, because you could find out the long list of organizations that Georgia State is connected to, but your daughter can't volunteer there because she's not here. But
Maybe he is his age is very
well, you have
young. So
you have to be a Georgia State student to go through the Office of Civic
Mhm.
Engagement.
Mm.
But I promise you, that school, her school, has
Yep.
support. Maybe
Yeah,
your
it's
daughter,
possible, yeah.
because of being online, people don't often get all the information.
Yeah.
so last year he asked the counselor, but he have no chance in her high school
Oh, really?
to volunteer. It meant too many people, too many students wants to.
So I can tell you that the groups you're working on, Meals on Wheels and Habitat for Humanity, they have Atlanta organizations. So you could
Oh.
contact the Atlanta branch of those organizations. And you could also, I'm going to write that, contact the Atlanta branch. That means the branch means the group in
Mm.
Atlanta.
Yeah, in that Atlanta. Yeah, I
And
know.
you could also look at the list at Georgia State and see what's interesting, and then contact them separately
Mm.
and
Okay.
say you want to volunteer. Your daughter
Okay.
wants to volunteer.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. It's funny, Deborah, that we have the same path to becoming teachers. I was teaching in the church when I was like 16 years old, and that's how I got my mojo. I was like, I think I like this job, you know.
That's a
That's-
good idiom there, Christian, mojo.
The mojo. All right, any other questions or comments? Any comments or other questions? No? All right, so Deborah, we really appreciate you coming and giving
My
this
pleasure.
talk. I mean,
My
very
pleasure.
informative. We
Thank
learned a lot, especially
And,
me. I mean, just like Enrico said, I got inspired. I think I need to do more. You know, I haven't done volunteer work for a long time.
There's always something to do. And anyway, I know you're going to have a good time in this class, and I look forward to hearing more about it. Christian, let me know how things
I
are going.
will, yeah. Thank you so
And
much.
good
And
luck
I'm really
to
happy to
everybody.
be, you know,
I'm
taking
happy
this
to see
class.
you again, and let me know if I can help again.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Deborah. Hey, guys.
Thank
Teacher,
you.
we miss
Bye.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Deborah, we miss you. Bye.
Oh, there's a hi. I just saw
That's
you.
Cindy,
come
right?
in.
Yeah.
Hi, Cindy. Okay,
Hi,
so I got-
teacher. I'm so glad to see you. Hug
glad to
and
see you
kiss.
too. You know my number.
Bye.
You can send me a message.
Okay,
Cool.
teacher.
Bye, Ramna.
Bye,
Bye.
Deborah.
Bye, everybody.
All right.
Bye.
All right, guys. What we're gonna do next is I have a list of more vocabulary. I want to go over that, and then you guys gonna work in your groups on your projects. I'll give you more time to work on that. I know it looks like some people like Steven. Steven, I didn't know your name was Steven. Hunwen, Steven.
Yes.
Okay, is it because of Steph Curry?
Yes, Stephen Harry.
Yeah, okay, I got you. All right, so you guys need to keep working on your project, but before that, let me show you what I got for vocabulary. 1 second. Okay. There we go. All right, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent. So these are more words in addition to what Deborah was sharing with you guys. When you do your work discussion and all this, when you do your research, you're gonna see a lot of these words that will come back. So it's always good to, you know, recycle these words, and then they become part of your vocabulary, DNA. So association, this one is easy. Everybody knows what it means. So people get together as a group in order to accomplish something, you know.
Mhm. Mhm.
And altruism, that's a very nice word. Altruism means what? Selflessness, which means you give up yourself to help other people, for the benefit, for the welfare of other people. So you don't have any ego. You don't count anymore, You just sacrifice yourself for the good of other people, okay? And this is an example there. It was an entirely altruistic act. If I have $20, I'm hungry, and then Amna needs food, and I give her all my $20. I stay hungry, but at least she can eat. That's altruistic. That's what it means. Everybody knows care, right? So when you care about somebody, you feel concerned about them. Okay, things like, now care can be a verb or a noun. If I say, I have deep care for you, or I care about you, that's a verb. Cooperation. Now, cooperation means this CO means, co means what? Togetherness, okay? Anything you see like cooperation, colleague, collaborate, all these mean together. So work together. So that's what cooperation means, working together. Contributions. If I say, for example, there is somebody who needs $100 and each of us give $10, that's our contribution. So we contribute to that. To dig deep, this one is a very interesting idiom. So it means to ask people to make a lot of effort to accomplish something or to do something. So let's say I said we need $1,000 and each of us gives $20, but we still need more. So I'm gonna say, hey guys, you guys need to dig deeper into your pocket, give more, do a little more, make a little more effort, something like that. So dig deep, that's what it means. Donation, Deborah mentioned this word already in her speech.
Yeah.
To donate means to give money, to give clothes and books and stuff like that. Generosity means, giving away something that it's not because you don't need it anymore, but it's because other people need it, maybe more than you do, okay? So willingness to give something that you really like, If it's something that is extra, you don't like it, you want to get rid of it, that's not called generosity too much. It's like you're getting rid of something. Okay, help, everybody knows help. Help can be a verb or a noun as well. Homeless, you're gonna see this a lot, especially if you're doing meals on, Meals on Wheels, right? So you're gonna have to help homeless people with no homes. Organization is a group of people, just like association, but usually bigger, like UNICEF, the UN, things like that. What is an orphan? An orphan is somebody who lost his or her parents, usually children. An orphanage is the place, like a house, where these kind of people are. And they have teachers and, other people to help, like adults to help them. Philanthropy, I think I talked about this before. So this is for anybody who has money or materials that you give away, then you are a philanthropist. You don't have to be super rich, but any kind of donation you make makes you a philanthropist. Raise money, Deborah mentioned that as well. So like I said, again, if we want to collect $1,000, we all get together, we give $10 each. So we are raising money. Another word you'll be familiar with is fundraising. Okay, raising money, fundraising, almost the same term. To rescue, we saw this when we talked about canine, the animals that we talked about the first week we met. So to rescue usually means to save somebody from a difficult situation. Social work. Social work is usually like Enrico was talking about. That's more like social work. So you are a doctor and then you go somewhere, to help people in need because they need medicine or healthcare, something like that. That's social work. Street children. These are children who live in the street. They don't have parents They can be orphans, you know, or the parents kick them out, and then they just sleep there in the street like homeless people. And sponsor, if you give something to help an organization, then you are a sponsor. Okay, and the noun is sponsorship. And the last word is support. Everybody knows support. Again, support can be a verb or a noun. Okay. So I'm gonna post this in iCollege later if you guys need it, or I can put it there now in the chat group so you guys can take a look. Do you have any question about these words? But again, as you guys know that the more you learn vocabulary, the better you can speak. You know, a lot of people get stuck because the vocabulary words don't come quickly, right? And then you say, you're looking for the words. But, you know, so if you increase your vocabulary, of course, your speech will be better. Okay, your speaking skills will be better. All right, so I'm gonna let you guys work in your groups for a few minutes. I'm pretty sure this is the best time for you, you know, to work together. Out of class usually it's a little harder, but I encourage you to do that too when you're not meeting here in class, because the presentation dates is coming, okay? So I'm gonna give you about 10 minutes. I'm gonna put you guys in groups. Let me make sure I remember all the groups. All right, so here we go. Give me 1 second. I need to look up the groups. All right, so group 1 is Amna, Jain, Anais, and Cindy. Okay, 3 groups manually. All right, so Amna, Anais, Jain, and Cindy. Where is Cindy? Did she disappear again?
No, she's iPhone.
She's using, oh, that's iPhone, okay, gotcha. All right, and then group 2, that's Hanwen, Steven, Santa Maria, Bruna, and E. Oh, you're missing 2 people. Sorry, guys. All right, so Hanwen and E. And then group 3, Henrico, Hazel, T, and Ingwe. All right, so here we go. So make sure you guys have all the information you need. You know, somebody's not on the same page as you, make sure everybody's on the same page. And like I told you before, it's always good to have a leader, you know, somebody who can coordinate everything. Always good to have a group leader, okay? So if you haven't voted for a group leader yet, please choose a leader for your group, okay? All right, so I'll give you 10 minutes and then we'll get back here, okay? All right, looks like everybody's back. I got 2 groups asking me when the presentation will be, which means you guys didn't check your calendar. I'm gonna show you your calendar again. So let's go to iCollege and I will show you. All right, do you see my iCollege page? Yes? Yes?
Yes.
You can unmute yourself now, it's okay.
Yes.
So
And
you
the
go
course?
to content.
Mm.
You click on content. It's a little slow, sorry, my computer. All right, and then you scroll all the way down, you're gonna see calendar. So you had spring 21 syllabus, right?
Oh,
Oops, can you turn off your phone, please? And then spring 21 course calendar. That's where you find the dates,
oh.
okay? Everybody got it? So I'm gonna show you some of the dates from my computer. All right, so these are the dates you're gonna see. So today is what? January 25, right? Right?
Yeah, yeah.
So we switched. Remember I told you last time we switched these two. So we did this last week, and then Deborah was here today, so we did this today. On Wednesday, this is what we're gonna do on Wednesday. Okay, so you're gonna still, talk in your groups, and now we'll talk about different ways of presentations, presentation skills a little bit, but you're gonna begin writing questions. I will show you what it means. And then next Monday, you're gonna begin working on your questions again and keep working in your groups. And then next Wednesday, that's when we're gonna talk about the real presentation skills. And I will show you some videos with TED Talks, how to give a speech, how to give a presentation. So your presentation will start here on February, what? The 8th.
Oh.
So 2 weeks from now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because it's only 3 groups, we're gonna try to squeeze everybody the same day. If we cannot, then we're gonna do presentations again on Wednesday. If all the groups cannot do it on the 8th. Yes.
How long needed our presentation needed?
All right, so let me stop this share and show you something else. Okay, where is that? Where is it? Where is that? Show yourself. Okay. Okay, I need to stop this. All right. Again, if you go to iCollege, you're gonna see this is a rubric. Do you know what rubric means? A rubric gives you details on what your grade will be on, right? This is very important for grades. You have to follow this if you want to get the best score possible. The reason I say this, every teacher has a rubric for presentation, for writing, for anything, they have rubrics, and they follow the rubrics to grade you. Now, the reason this is important, if you don't follow the rubric, even if you think your presentation is great, but you didn't follow the rubric, you may lose a lot of points and then your grades will be low. All right, so let's look at the rubric. And then if you have questions, we're gonna talk about that. These are the categories I'm gonna grade you on. Number 1, organization and time management. Okay, the presentation is well organized and clearly sequenced, logical, right? 1, 2, 3, very well organized. Transitions are used in the presentation and between presenters. And we'll talk about this a little more again. It's not just for today, okay? I'll go over this again. But if I'm speaking, if I say, okay, I finish speaking and then Stephen is next, I don't just stop and then I look at Stephen, no. There are some phrases you can use from one speaker to another. Now I give the floor to Stephen, and then Stephen will talk. Okay, and then when Stephen is done, now I give the floor to whoever is next. So we'll talk about this later more. I'll give you more details about that, but that's general. Presenters understand the role and participate equally. All right. Now, if I say you have 10 minutes to speak, and you guys are 4 people in your group, it means every person should speak about 2.5 minutes, right? Somebody shouldn't speak 5 minutes and then somebody speak only 30 seconds. It's not gonna work like that. So when you divide your work, make sure you have almost equal amount of work. Do you understand? All right. Now the time, I'm gonna put the time here now. I'll give you 12 minutes to give your presentation. So I assume each one should speak around 3 minutes, right? Yeah. Now, content. Content is everything about the presentation, the most important, the topic itself, right? So is your content well chosen, interesting, and relevant? Do you guys know what content means, right? Okay, when you write an essay, you know, the ideas, that's what it means. The ideas you put in your essay, the ideas you put in your presentation, that's the content. So if you're talking about Meals on Wheels, and then you mention something about Habitat for Humanity or smoking, something that's not related to Meals on Wheels, that's not good, right? So the content is not good. So you have to make sure all the ideas are about your organization. Don't go astray, you know, stay on topic. Presentation features. Now, what does this mean? The presenter pays attention to online presence, Zoom, including proper posture, appropriate body language, and eye contact. So everybody gonna have to show the video. It's gonna be on Zoom. All right, eye contact. Don't do like this and talk, read your notes. You have to look at the class, look at the audience. Okay, everybody understands? Okay. So although it is on Zoom, I can still see you, right? So I see everything, your face, your body movement. Don't just show your head like E is doing there. I only see this part of you. Make sure I can see at least, you know, your bust, you know, the bust, you know, from here, like Hanwen, you know. So I can see, you know, very good. That's better. All right. Oh, and of course, because this is a speaking class, I'm gonna grade you on pronunciation, of course, right? It makes sense. So presenter has appropriate fluency. What is fluency? Do you know what fluency is?
Speak like a native?
You don't
Not exactly like a native. You don't have to speak like a native. Yeah, don't hesitate too much. Exactly. Okay, number one. I think you know, don't do that. You can do that maybe a few seconds, but talk. You know, the whole point is for you to be fluent. Fluent doesn't mean perfect. It doesn't mean you don't make mistakes. All right. I've told you this before. Don't worry about your mistakes, because everybody makes mistakes, even Native Americans, you know, native speakers, they make mistakes. So don't worry about that. Just speak. And I told you, the more confident you are, the fewer mistakes you will make. All right. So I'll grade you on your fluency, your pronunciation, your stress, you know, intonation. You know, all this is important when you speak. When something is very serious, what do? You slow down, you raise your voice, right? If you're talking about something really, really serious, like you guys cannot believe what happened to me yesterday. Man, I was really, you know, people like, you know, something really important is coming. So all this is important. Again, we're gonna watch some TED Talks, and then we'll talk about the different skills. So don't worry too much about that.
Teacher.
Yes.
Can I leave the class now? I have an appointment.
Oh, yeah, you don't need to tell me. You can just, yeah, I'm sorry. You sent me a chat, right? I didn't, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
But make sure you work with your group. Oh, she's done already. That was swift. All right, next one. Discussion and this, I don't know why I put that 2 times. Anyway, so discussion and discussion questions. I'm gonna show you in a minute before you go, and you guys are gonna read that for homework. Questions are thought-provoking and relevant, okay? The reason we call this presentation whole class discussion, because when you finish, you guys are gonna conduct a discussion for the whole class. So people can ask you questions, you can ask questions to the class, so it becomes like a discussion. You understand? Like we did with Deborah today. You can comment, you can agree or disagree, you can add your personal opinion, everything, you know, something like that. So we're gonna talk about that too, and I'm gonna show you how to write good questions in a few minutes. And although this is a group presentation, there will be individual preparation and individual participation, right? So you're gonna get 2 grades, 1 grade for the group, 1 grade for yourself as an individual. So are you prepared for your section? Did you collaborate with your group members for the presentation success? Did you work on your own section so everything is smooth for the whole group? So you get your group grade and your individual grade as well. Does it make sense? So this is in iCollege, it's called WCD rubric, whole class discussion rubric. Go over that, make sure you understand every detail, every criterion. And then if you have any question, let me know. Okay. All right. Now, something else I need to show you before we go. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, very good. Why do we have to do group work, and how to make group work work? You know, pros and cons working with groups. I know a lot of people don't like to work in groups. Sometimes I don't, but most of the time I don't have a choice, right? We live in a society. You know, when you go to college, you're gonna work in groups. When you get out of college, you're gonna work in groups in your organizations, at your work. So you have no choice. So you have to learn the skills for that. Now, one way to work really good in your groups is to ask questions to each other, right? Don't ask simple yes, no question, because some people are gonna say yes, no, and that's it. You don't want people to just say yes and no, okay? Don't ask vague questions, okay? Like, it's not clear what you said. What about him? Hey, what about you, Hanwen? What about me, what, you know? So make your question more specific. So no simple yes, no question, no elliptical question, like 2 vague questions. Okay? Don't ask questions that lead to one specific answer. Don't you think that Giant's question is great? Oh, yes, I do. No, don't ask questions like that. What's the best way to ask a question like this? What do you think about Giant's idea? And then I can give my opinion. So don't ask questions that lead to one specific answer, okay? Don't ask slanted question. What does it mean? You close somebody's answer down, like they have no other options. Don't you think Donald Trump was a bad president? You know, it means I shut you down, right? I close your brain a little bit. But the best way to ask a question like this, what do you think about Donald Trump as a president? More open, you know. So that's how you work in your groups, open-ended questions. Okay. So how do you get your classmates to talk in your groups? All right, so make your question interesting, be personal in your situation, think about what your classmate would like to discuss, be thoughtful, be clear, okay? If you don't, let me change this, that's me, not Deborah. If you don't know what kind of question you can ask to your classmate, you can send me an email or WhatsApp, and I can help you with that. But the whole point is for you in your group to get everybody to talk and give ideas so your group can work best together. Okay. And these are the dates. I just showed you some of these already. Okay. So on February 3rd, we're gonna review your questions. Okay, you guys, we're gonna talk about your questions. February 5th, you guys gonna work in your group to prepare on your presentations. And then, actually this one should be, I changed that. Okay. February 10 and 8. 8 and 10. So these are the 2 days we're gonna have the presentations.
Christian,
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
yes, is it because we should in the group prepare a question to the class to lead the discussion, or to other groups?
Both ways. In your group first, and then for the whole class as well. In your group, you do this to get all the ideas you need for your presentation.
Yes, I know, but I'm talking about the presentation in class. We need questions for the class to lead the discussion.
In the class, you're gonna lead the discussion for the whole class as well, yes.
Yet, no. I'm talking about the question that we should write.
Uh-huh.
Those questions will be necessary in the class, in the presentation?
Some of them will be necessary for the whole class discussion, yes. So if you're leading the group discussion for the whole class, right? If somebody asks you a question, right? You can answer the question, or you can ask somebody else from the group, from your group, or from the class itself. So if Stephen asked the group, why do you think Meals on Wheels is located in downtown? That's just an example. And then say, oh, that's a good question. Jayin, do you want to answer this question? You know, and then Jayin,
I got it.
Yeah, and Jayin will say, I'm not sure I have the answer. Let me see. Can anybody else in the class answer this question? Do you guys have any experience with that? I think Deborah gave us a really good example today, but I will give you more example myself as we move on, okay? Especially on those dates here, February 5th, we're gonna work on that. Okay.
It's to make more active the discussion in class.
To make everybody talk. The whole point is to get everybody to talk.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So what I want you to do now, let me go back to my plan for the day. What is my daily plan? I closed it, right? Let me see here. Yeah, here we go. Sorry, guys, I know we went over time a little bit.
Yes, we are working out of time.
I know. All right. So please do this. Okay. Read discussion tips, discussion question examples, and then the rubric we just went over. All these in iCollege. So read those because we're going to go over that on Wednesday. So I want you to have an idea before we go over that. So that's all you have to do for homework. Just read those in iCollege.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
All right. So see you guys on Wednesday.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, teacher.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Teacher, I have a question about Friday class, face-to-face.
Yeah. You should go, right?
Yeah.